Hey everyone, and welcome to the You Look Lovely Today podcast.
Thank you.
Oh, you look lovely today. Anyways, okay, so I got some stories from the dating advice subreddit, and today, well, let's just jump into it. So
I feel like our seating arrangement today, it's so far apart.
yeah, I'm trying.
It's okay. Let's try new things.
Last time I
think
had
we
some
got
like
this.
overlap on the microphones because
Yeah.
we're sitting next to each other, and I think it's I just was maybe I didn't set it up correctly, but so I'm trying something different. We picked up some camping chairs, so just want to try using.
Let's
these
see.
chairs.
Let's see. I feel like I'm being like a real interview session.
Yeah, I mean your chair is a little low, but it's
like
okay.
interrogating.
No, I would have like the light shining in your face. Okay, so the first post is by Own Alternative 2602. They state, "Am I overthinking or did he lose interest in me? I, 20 female, have never really dated at all and have little to none experience with sex. I met this guy, 28 male, at school. He was the first to message me, and from there we hit it off. We talked almost every day about everything and nothing at the same time. So finally, when our schedules finally aligned outside of school, we hung out last Sunday. We kissed for the first time and then did more than kiss, but we didn't have sex because we didn't have protection and he respected it. We watched a movie and cuddled after, and he went home. Monday came around and I saw him at school. Everything seemed fine, no kissing. We only had a hug goodbye. Then I noticed him and I have not been texting as frequently as we used to or at all some days. I'm worried that he's not into me anymore after what happened on Sunday, and that's why he's sort of ghosting me now. I need to know, what do you guys think, so I know how to act around him, because I've seen him multiple times a day at school and I don't want to make things too awkward after this. Or can I just be overthinking and need to give him some time? I really like him, but I don't want to spend more time thinking of him if he's not feeling the same."
So they went on just the first date that date, right?
Yeah, so I think I don't know if they really had a date, but they've been like talking, and then they finally found time to like meet up, and then they kind of like fooled around a little bit, not sex, but just like cuddling and stuff, and then after that he
just ghosting, not ghosting, but it's less.
He's fading away.
Yeah. What's
so
your view?
What would your advice be to her? Because I think she's feeling like kind of like, is he not interested in me anymore, and should I just like fade away, or is what do you think?
It's just a very beginning of the stage of like this. So I think that, I don't know, I'm not speaking for guys, right? But I think usually when it's the beginning of everything, it should be very exciting and you should be more interactive and you want to be socialized and you want to hang out basically. But I think if he is sort of fading away or less attention, maybe it's a sign that he's not in moving forward with this or try to hang out. Because I think we just watched a movie together, and I think in the movie it was like the first kiss tells everything.
Is this Hitch?
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, because I was asking you that, is it because Justin have a lot more experience?
No.
And yeah, but maybe like because of this, who knows? Maybe he just realized that, oh, actually it's just a friendship, or maybe I like her, but when things get a little bit more physical, I don't find her attractive, or I don't have like a sexual appeal towards this person.
Yeah. Honestly, nowadays, I mean, it's hard for me to comment so much about dating, because I think dating has changed so much recently. I mean, like, I was born too late for online dating. I feel like I never really got involved with like Tinder and stuff like that.
Do you want to?
No, I'm like, no, it's like so anxious thinking about dating again. But nowadays I feel like there's so many options out there that maybe he got there and maybe there was something that he didn't quite like, and he just felt like, okay, this is not really worth investing more into, and he's probably just fading back in a sense that like he's like, oh, let's just walk it back to like being friends, and instead of leading her on. I mean, people should be more clear, but I mean, he's not. Well, I guess he's kind of ghosting her. Like he's just kind of like imagine like the next time you meet, he's like, hey, here's a hug and stuff like that. But
Like friend zone.
yeah, but I think it should be like, okay, just take the L and like bow out. Like I think she'd just be like,
What is the L?
like the loss, like an L versus a W.
Oh, okay.
And then like, so I think she just, if it turns out the other person isn't putting the energy back towards you, I think you can just assume that like, okay, let's just let it fade away. Unless you like really like him, then you can state your case like, hey,
Because she
fight for
really
it.
liked him. So what would be your advice? Because she said that she really liked him.
I think but I think she's also young. So she's 20 and female, and then he's 28 male. And so he's like, maybe they're different places in his life. She's probably starting college, and maybe she's young. So this is like, when you're young, relationships are everything versus like for him, he might be,
If this is not, then just move on.
Yeah, like he's like, okay, if this is not really something I'm interested in, then I got things going on at work and, other things that I need to pay attention to. So I would say if I was talking to my friend, I would say chalk this up as a learning experience and just move on. Like like you guys no one did anything wrong. So like you don't need to hate him and just be like, okay, when you see him, just be like, hey, what's up? And that's it. And move on.
I actually think otherwise.
Ooh.
I think that if this is my friend and she really, really liked him, I would say that, it's too soon to back out. I would just say that maybe try approaching him a bit, like give him a bit more hint that like, hey, like flirting a bit, and then just give it one more push. And then if it's not, then, just back out. Because sometimes I feel that maybe he doesn't sure, like if she interested in him or her gesture is not as obvious that he can tell like, oh, is she likes him or not, so I would maybe just put efforts a bit more and then see it for one time, and then if it's not working out or if he just sort of ghosting her, then okay, it's clear that nah.
It's so funny that someone could you guys can make out and like fool around, watch a movie and cuddle, and then when it comes to like, but we're not really sure if he's interested in her. It's like you guys, it's kind of like if like a girl kisses you and you're like, well, I'm not sure if she likes me. It's like,
But what interrupt the whole thing? Did she say?
No, I think it was just like time for him to go home. Like they just hung out and then
okay.
they just didn't have sex because they didn't have a condom and stuff like
I think maybe he just
maybe he's nervous.
I don't know, is it? But yeah.
Well, if going off your advice as well, if I was to talk to her, I would say if you need that closure, just talk to him. He's an adult, and just be like, hey, I was wondering.
Maybe she doesn't want to, like lose her cool.
Yeah, well, I think if you don't want to lose your cool, then you just let it go.
Oh, okay.
You gotta be cool. Okay, that was a good warm up.
Yeah, before we go into the next story, for example, if us didn't happen and you're single, would you try?
This sounds like a trap.
No, it's not a trap, but I just wonder. Have you ever tried online dating?
No.
Never.
The closest I got to online dating is like DMing Instagram, stuff like that. But not like nothing like a swiping, going through catalog, nothing like that. And even when I did DM on like Instagram, it was never like,
I like
hey,
this
I like
person.
you. Yeah, it was more
Yeah.
like, hey, like I'm just like, hey, meet up, like networking more. So then like looking for a date.
เข้าใจ
And then you meet them and they'd be like, oh, this is fun, stuff like that. Organically.
I think, yeah, let's skip it. Yeah, because I'm just wondering that I talked to one of my couple of friends before, and then one is married and one is like in committed relationship, and I think some of them are like, I wonder like what it's like to do online dating or Tinder and whatnot. Yeah, but I don't think that. So I downloaded once.
Whoa.
Yeah, I downloaded it once.
In when you were living in the US?
In the US, yeah, I downloaded it once, but I I don't have any bias towards anyone about like using online dating or not, because I see that many couples as well that I know them, they turn out to be a lovely couple, or some of them are like married, so I don't have anything against them, but it just for me that I'd rather meet a person in real life, and like maybe you meet in a cafe or like somewhere, rather than like this is personal, like this is my personal individual's like opinion, because I just don't like because everything you judge a person by just photos, not a photos, because they would post different photos, blah blah blah, and I don't know, just the concept of, I mean, of course, not sexual appearance, but appearance, it's sort of a window.
Like attraction.
Yeah, it's attraction. Yeah, it's hard to say, but I don't have anything against it. But so I download it and I have it for like 15 minutes. I delete it because I just don't like the concept of browsing like that. Yeah,
I think when we grew up, or at least for me, when online dating first started coming on the scene, like eHarmony or something like that, like those older ones, and it was seen kind of, there was like that stigma of like, if you can't meet someone in real life, like for the people that like cannot find their own dates, they have to use online dating, and it's kind of like seen as kind of like I don't want to be like mean, but okay, if I'm talking frankly, it seems like if you aren't good enough to find someone in real life, then you have to use
that's a
online
stigma.
dating. That's a stigma,
Okay.
right? And then I feel like, but I also know a lot of couples that have even gotten married after online dating, and in that couple's case was they're a very busy career, so they really didn't have a chance to meet anyone, and then they weren't meeting anyone in their
cycle,
in their career, the office, whatever, and they also don't want to date anyone in the office, obviously. So so for that, I get it, it makes sense. And then nowadays, now we have lived everything through our virtual lives, in a sense, in our like virtual profiles. It's like much more common, and it's not weird, just like when growing up, like taking selfies in public was like embarrassing. Like I wouldn't want to be caught like looking at myself in my selfie camera, but nowadays people do it, right next to you on the train, and like they're like, it's like no shame.
And you judge me.
No, never.
No, but I agree. It's just not the way that, not that it's not common. It's very common like this day, but it's just not for me. That's it. Yeah.
I agree.
Hopefully we don't have to use it ever.
Yeah, hopefully not.
We have to make sure that we don't use it.
Ever. That won't be a problem.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to actually skip to the third one I have because it's quite similar. Okay. So this is the third one the next story is by user 33 Sunshine and posted 5 hours ago. And they said, how can I, 26 male, figure out why I'm being ghosted? I'm new to dating. I've had a lot of success getting matches on the app Hinge compared to other apps I've tried. I'm trying harder to date than I ever have before, and I've had a few women predictably ghost me / lose interest when I took too long to ask them out. Totally understandable. So the next two women I matched with, I moved a bit quicker. They responded enthusiastically. One had to reschedule the date twice. She reached out in advance, apologized, and initiated rescheduling. However, while trying to find a time for the second reschedule, which by that point I was losing interest anyways, she just stopped replying. Like she asked if there was a time in the next week I could make work, and I responded, and she didn't. The next one was even more enthusiastic about meeting. We agreed on a time and place and then went back to chatting. One of my messages she didn't respond to. Then the next day, the day of the date, I asked if we were still on and got no response. I decided to swing by the venue anyways, and she wasn't there. I figured, but I didn't have anything else going on anyways. She still never responded, so I'm considering myself ghosted. The main reason I find this weird is how much they seem to want to meet. Nothing obvious was said to piss them off, like a crass joke, political comment, or me sounding aloof towards the date. So, I think he's trying to figure out like why he keeps on getting ghosted. Okay, I don't have my opinion about this yet, but one thing I have to say is I don't really like the idea, or like I don't like it when people ghost people. I just think it's very rude. And this is not even with the dating stuff. Like, for example,
In general, yeah.
I sell things on Facebook Marketplace, and I get people asking like, how much, or like, you know, can I get a discount? And I'll counter offer or something like, oh, okay, I can reduce it to this amount. And then they just like never reply, you know, or like they'll ask me like, oh, does it have this feature? And I'll be like, yes, it has this. And then they don't reply. And I just feel like, for me, when I talk to people, it's always like, oh, thank you for your time, but I'm no longer interested. Or it would be like some feedback.
Like at least response.
Yeah. Like some feedback like, oh, that price is quite high for me. So they get some feedback and they're like, oh, that price is maybe too high or something like that. Give them a chance to like be like, well, I can lower it more or something like that.
You're so sweet.
No, but I just feel like it's so like annoying.
I know.
And I just like, I know how it feels. Yeah. So
we're just so different on this bit. I
you
mean,
ghost people?
I don't ghost people, but I would just react like hard or send meme or GIF, you know? So it's like that. But because if you're like I don't know, but sometimes I'm like, oh, thank you. Or for example, that I want to buy something. And when I know the price, I'm like, okay, let me think about it. I get back, you know, and then I think about it. I didn't get back, but at least I reply, you know, or like, let me think, or I would just say like, oh, thank you very much. Maybe next time, you know, but I think some people, they lose interest so easy. This is what happening with maybe the world this day, that it's like an auction market, you know, that like, very opportunist, and not first come first serve, but like if you make it plan first and then maybe she already went out with someone and like, oh, hit it off, and then no, I don't need the second plan. Maybe he just very unfortunate that his date planned after, and then she went on, she saw somebody else earlier, and then she's like, oh, maybe I want to invest it in this person.
Yeah, I think most likely that's the case for sure.
But I mean, because you also meet each other on this cyber world, so there's no sense of empathy towards the other person, or you have to be kind because you're not friends and you just know each other by like texting 3 days, you know. So I don't think that the other person even care that, oh, I need to bear his feeling, you know, or I need to be mindful.
Like you're hiding behind this like cyber wall.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I'm just going to like just close the door. That's it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess people don't like, I don't know, maybe I think too much and like I feel like, well, what is that? How is that going to make the other person feel?
Yeah. I think you think too much. You are. You definitely are. And I just want to say that this is not for you.
Yeah. No, I could not survive in online dating.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, just to end conversation with someone that you don't want to like, actually, it's done. Conversation seems done, but you're just like dragging it long. Not because you want to be flirt with the person, but you just don't want to be like, oh, I seen on them.
Maybe, okay, this actually goes back to like the other story before this was because I think you know that I've had conversations before, like when we were friends, and I would ask her advice about things going on in my life, and it would be kind of like, well, I'm not really interested in this person, but I don't know how to like end it. And I don't want to be mean and be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, or like, can you stop texting me? So I would, you know, start dwindling, like maybe shorten my responses. And then if that didn't work, then I would like just respond with gifts, you know? And then you were like, okay, just like stop messaging her or something like that, you know? And I just feel like I know how much of a hit that can take to your self-esteem. And like, I don't want to reject people like in a mean way. And so I was hoping it would just like casually like reach cruising speed.
But some people can be very persistent.
So that's what I was saying about the last story was like, she should just like accept what happened and just kind of like take it. Because if something was going to happen, really going to happen, then he would have maybe made more of a sign or something like that. You know?
I mean, I would say that, like I say, just give it one gesture and then that's it. Don't do more than that. Just one and then call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But coming back to this guy, so what's our thought?
So the question is like, why do I keep getting ghosted? I mean, this time he even tried to like be faster.
Yeah.
And I would say that is key. Like, I think nowadays people, I think a lot of people on the dating apps get stuck in the talking only phase and it never gets to meeting in person. And for some people, they're like, we're not going to meet in person, you're just wasting my time.
I wonder if at the end of the day, they're just not interested in him.
So let me see. So one of the first comment from Crunchy Kitty Litter said, the reality, she found someone more interesting and worth her efforts.
Right? Yeah.
I'm not knocking you, but just remember their inboxes are typically overflowing with options. And the greener grass syndrome has some of them constantly refreshing and checking their options for the next possibly better thing. Chalk it up as a loss, but keep honing your social skills and get back out there. You'll find one soon enough. And he replied, I'm just trying to avoid this happening again and again. I think you're right, and all I can really do is move on and keep getting better, more comfortable. And that's true. I think that's...
You have to build a thick skin.
That's it, yeah. I mean... The nice thing about meeting someone in person is that you can
You can stalk them.
No, is that you can get that you can within that first meeting at a party.
You already know if you want to move forward.
Yeah, and you can be like, hey, why don't we, grab dinner this week or something like that.
So you done that before?
I don't recall. I don't remember. But I figure that's how it would happen. And then...
Please.
And then, so things like that, where nowadays in dating, it's like, you can actually have a whole night of texting someone and we're really vibing well. And then the next day they're like, oh, I'm already dating someone else. Oh.
What's your worst fear?
Worst fear?
Worst fear when dating? Or start dating?
Okay. My worst fear when it comes to okay, the first thing that comes to mind, honestly, is that I always feel like when someone is showing interest in me, I feel like it's like they're not being sincere. Like it's a trap, because I've had one time in high school or something like that where this girl started texting me and then they were flirting, and then it turns out that it was like a dare from a friend or something like that.
Oh no!
But it wasn't like that bad. It was more like she was having problems with her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. She was from another school, and then she was having a problem with her boyfriend, and then so her friends were like, "Oh, you should get this guy's number and start texting him." So we met at a band competition, so marching band, and then she was like, "Hey, can I get you?" So I thought it was she was really interested in me, and then a couple a week or something later, she was like, "Hey, to be honest, I have a boyfriend, and my friends told me to talk to you because we were having problems and stuff like that, but it's not."
But it's not a dare. I think that your friend might want her to get herself out there, and get herself out there and say that there are other futures in the sea.
I also had...
You're yummy salmon.
Stop it. I had something really bad too once. I had when I used to work in restaurants, I had my knife bag, and I had my phone number, a luggage tag on it, and it had my name and number on it. And I started receiving these texts, someone saying oh, I work with you, and I think you're cute and I like you and stuff like that, and we're talking. Anyways, in the end, it turns out just someone was messing with me and got my number and was because they started sending me explicit pictures, and I was like, what the hell, who is this person? And I was definitely didn't look like anyone I work with, and I was this is sus.
Psychopath.
Yeah, so after that, I flipped the tag over, I put the card facing inside, so if someone found my bag, they can take the card out and look at it. But my number wouldn't just be out in the open. But that's why with our luggage bags, I hide the name.
Yeah. So my mom, just off topic, so about this thing, my mom just telling me that when we went latest our last trip, she said, don't put your phone number, just put an email. I'm like, I put actually email and city and country. That's it. My name, of course, and email. Yeah. Mom don't put your full address, because I put my full address. I don't know.
Whoa.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's quite scary.
Just put your friend's address. Put your neighbor's address. No. Imagine. No. Yeah. Okay. So this guy's advice. Yeah, I think it's honestly, this is how the game works nowadays. It's just.
Yeah.
But
everything happens so fast, so I think that he already tried to adapt and, improve his pace into this kind of things. But, don't overthinking it. You just need to adapt and get used to how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just refining, like you're just refining your skill, also like maybe building thicker skin, stuff like that. So unfortunately, dude, that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Crunchy.
Okay. So all right, 2 more. This one's short. This one's kind of funny. So by user strange but cute 89. Do men like it when a woman gives her number first? Question mark. I have no problem being bold and offering my number to someone, but I've found that it usually never goes anywhere. Do men not like that approach? If I waited for someone to give me their number, I'd be waiting a while. Laughing emoji. So this is a girl asking like, is the sun bothering you?
No.
Okay. Like, is it, she's asking like, is it a bad thing that I approach guys and give them their number? I would say you go first.
Maybe they think that it's too easy. I mean, maybe they want to like actually get to know her more. And I know it's such a game, like this kind of dating pool that for example, if you're really interested in some person and you don't want to waste time, like clock is ticking, not like because you're getting 40 or 45, but you just don't want to waste your time and then, just want to move on and blah, blah. So you just like, okay, I find this person interesting, so I'm just going to give him my phone number. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I can see also why some people might lose interest. Because they don't think that it's... Sometimes you like to be... I know that it's a game sometimes that people want to play hard to get. You get that excitement. I think you want that excitement. Yeah. Sorry, what's her question again?
Is it
a turn off?
Yeah, like do men like it when women give their number first? So I would say usually when if people ask me advice about like picking up people, I would say it's always like I think the reason why to increase your chances of picking someone up, I would say you have to make the other person in their mind think like, oh, I want to get their number. Like I hope this guy likes me. Because once they're thinking like that and then you offer them the number, then it's like, great.
You need to build the story.
Yeah. So
and create a hook.
No, but so what I mean, like, you have to think like when you're entering, it's like you have to merge into their lane, not just like crash into them and be like, here's my number, So like, for example, if you met at like the grocery store, you don't want to just be like, hey, I think you're really cute. I like your number. Because in her mind, she's probably thinking like, hey, what should I have for dinner tonight? And stuff like that. And then if you just come out of nowhere, it's just like, it's so abrupt. You're like, whoa, like.
I'm just trying to think that, okay, what if I go grocery shopping and like picking up my stuff, like in the vegetable section, and like this cute guy walk towards me and like without introduction, he's like, hey, I think you're cute and I think that I want to maybe grab coffee with you. Here's my phone number.
I think immediately when you're like struck out of it, you're gonna be like, knowing you're gonna be like defensive mode.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't
like, whoa, who are you?
Yeah, like I think I would be like, oh, all right, yeah, thank you. I would keep it, but then I'll be freaking out. I would freak out.
Yeah. And you would text me, be like, oh my god, this guy just came up to me.
Of course, but I try to. I mean, even if he's cute, I would feel like, oh my god, there's like cute guy, give me my phone number. But I wouldn't like text him or add him.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's a bit scary. I don't know when someone's approached you very strong, it's too strong.
So yeah, that's why my advice is usually like you can't do that. So for example, if you were looking at the vegetable aisle and then you were like picking out the some herbs, and then the guy was like oh, just FYI, I tried this herb once and like it was like,
at least make a conversation,
something like that. Yeah, like or if he came up to you and was like hey, can you help me find which one is the like, oh, you seem to know what you're doing. Like, can you help me find the cilantro? And like, or is this cilantro? Or is this avocado ripe or something like
I
that?
would be like, just ask the stuff.
No, but he's cute. No. No.
I don't know. I think I'll be scared.
But we've also talked about this, that like obviously how attracted to you are them matters, because you cannot put a blanket statement of like you always give a stranger a flower or something, or like, because if you're attractive you can get away with it, but if you're not, sometimes it's kind of like ew.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the way the world works. But luckily, not everyone is just like blanket attractive. Everyone has a type. So you might not be attracted to someone, but you might be attracted to someone else. So there's a little bit of good news for you guys. So my advice to her would be like, of course a girl can give the number and guys probably love it. But at the same time, I feel a little bit on guard if a girl just gives me her number. For some reason, it feels like a honey trap. But if you're vibing with the girl and then she's like, hey, for example, like, oh, I'm going to like Wonder Fruit or like this concert coming up and then this event, and like, you seem pretty cool. Like, you should definitely join my group. Like here's my number. Like,
I think it's also depending on how you set the trap. No, but it's also how you give your phone number, not just upfront like, hey, you're cute, this is my phone number, call me.
Whoa,
not
that
like
worked.
that. No,
I liked it.
No, but I guess that there are also some guys or girls who might like it, like very straightforward. Maybe they're shy and they want to be with someone who's more expressive and more extrovert, and can be like the first person who make the move. It could be like that. But to go to your comment, I agree that it can be done, but it need to be like smooth operator.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely guys out there that like a woman that like takes charge, and they're too maybe like maybe not sure of themselves to make the first move.
Because
something like
they're
that.
not sure if they gay.
No, stop.
No, and it's not wrong.
Yeah, maybe, could be. I'm sure that happens. Okay, here's the last one. This one is quite interesting, and it's a little bit of a story. So, okay, here's the last one. The username Ravenclaw Mom.
It's Harry Potter.
Is it?
Aww.
Okay, I didn't even realize. Pacha loves Harry Potter.
My God.
Okay, so it starts out with a backstory. It's a little sad in the beginning. Backstory: I'm a single first-time mother to a 6-month-old. My late fiance was killed in a car crash 2 months before our daughter was born.
Aww.
I'm an emotional train wreck. I go to the gym to relieve stress, not meet random dudes. And I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and still actively train. Not for MMA or anything, just to keep up on self-defense. A couple of weeks ago, I went to the gym to work out. Everything was going normal. I had just finished on the treadmill with my AirPods in, minding my own, when I look up and see a dude talking to me. I pulled an AirPod out and said, "What?" And he said, "I said, you're looking nice today." I said, "Thank you, but I'm not here to make friends." I put my AirPod back in and proceeded to walk towards the locker room. I noticed he gave me an annoyed grin and said something, but I just kept walking. I got dressed and went to leave without AirPods in, and he approached me again and said, "I didn't mean to annoy you. I'm sorry." And I said, "Okay," and walked to my car, drove across the parking lot to get a smoothie, and went home. Fast forward to a week, same thing. I'm working out, listening to music, same dude approaches me and says something. I sighed heavily, rolled my eyes, pulled my AirPod out, and said, "What?" in an annoyed tone. He said, "I asked if you always dress to impress when you come to the gym." I squeezed my lips together, exhaled through my nose, and responded, "Look, I get what you're doing, but I'm not interested. I lost my fiance 8 months ago. I have a 6-month-old who takes up most of my time, so thanks, but no thanks." He gave the cheesy pity eyes and said, "I'm so sorry for your loss. If you need someone to talk to, I'd happily listen." I replied, "No thanks," threw AirPods back in and finished my workout. Before leaving, I told the gym manager about dude annoying me, and he said he'd handle it, and I went on my way, got my smoothie, and went home. Now for today. Went to the gym, dude was there but didn't bother me apart from frequent glances. So I'm like, cool, the manager handled it. I work out, leave, head to get my smoothie, and guess who's there?
At
Then-
smoothie shop.
Yeah, the annoying dude from the gym. I make tracks for the counter, give my order, and go to the pickup counter. When dude approaches me and says, "How are you feeling today?" I say, "Like I'm not interested." He responds, "That's okay. I was just gonna say that your hair looks really pretty today." I side eye him, say thanks, get my smoothie, and leave. How the fuck do I get this dude to leave me alone? He's what I'd consider attractive, but he spends 88% of his time staring at the gym mirrors, and I'm seriously just not into him. If he keeps on, self-defense training is going to kick in. Need to find a way to get it through to him that I'm not interested, and he needs to kick rocks. Any guys here who have a hard time accepting no for an answer that can give me advice? Question mark.
Change the gym.
Okay. Yeah, that is a solution, change the gym. But at the same time, sometimes people need to like there needs to be something that changes these behaviors in these people, because if not, like for example, if a guy's when this happens at a workplace that a guy's maybe like inappropriate at work, then people are always like, oh, like request a change position or change your shift schedule so you don't work with him. But at the same time, it's like he's still gonna
Not
continue that
solving
behavior. Yeah. So you're protecting yourself, but you're not protecting, or you're not really changing him or like improving the situation for the other people. Same thing with like, when abuse happens in like,
Because she's very clear. She already said that she's not interested in this and move along. That I have my own trauma, that I'm like not capable to have a relationship, not even with him or anyone, but like I have my own shit going on and I'm concentrating at it, and this is basically like her own space that she can be with herself and do her thing. I like to file a report to the police. You can't, because the thing is that I don't want her to trigger him and then he becomes her stalker, because obviously once, twice, and the third time at the smoothie shop.
Yeah, now he left the gym and like
it's scary. I don't know. I know where you're coming from, because she, like, first time she tried to defend by herself on her own. Second, she report to the manager. And third, like, what can you do? The third one, you have to go to police. Or what? You're gonna fight him?
Asking me? No, kidding.
No, like,
what
is the advice?
Yeah, so unfortunately it's I don't know, it should be escalated some way, but I don't know if the police may be too much, but unfortunately what I feel is what is happening right here is that this guy is a very like cocky guy, and for him it's become a game now. And like I want to win, And so unfortunately, I feel like he's in his mind, he feels like what she's trying to say is like try harder or something like that, And unfortunately, it happens a lot,
This dude is very selective on the information he wants to hear.
Yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon for this to happen. That like guys will feel like, oh, she's playing hard to get,
No, I know, but I'm facing, like, I think I faced this before, and I'll talk to you on the side.
No, tell me now.
No, but like, there was an incident as well. Like, this happened, and then I think a guy who I was seeing back then, he also told me that, like, are you like, he asked me that maybe I should be more straightforward, because he said that maybe that guy that tried to make a move on me thinks that this is a game. And I'm like, no, like, I'm seeing you and this person know that I'm like seeing like this. There's so many guys.
Is there? No, yeah.
So it's like, it's pretty obvious, I'm not leaning the guy on or anything, but I don't know. I don't know if like I'm being not spoken and humble or just bare like his feelings, so I don't say it up front, but yeah, he just never say it to me like, oh, I like you. But when he's drunk, like his behavior or some weird sentence that he wouldn't say, so that's why I gave him a benefit of a doubt that, oh, maybe he's drunk, because his sober persona is not like that. But I think after a while, I think that because I sort of like ghosted him and like very bad behavior, not bad behavior, but I'm just like, okay, we don't have to be a friend, and I need to like set my boundary. Because for me to bring it up, it's quite difficult, I have to say. But in this case, I think she's more firm and more outspoken than me and very honest. Like, this is not it, So it's pretty clear. So I actually think that I don't think she's type of the person who want to back out, or like, no, why do I have to go through all the hassle to change? Why I already told him. But I would say that you have other things value in your life.
Like your safety is more.
Yeah, changing a gym wouldn't hurt you, and you don't have to like have your mental space to deal with this shit. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the easiest solution or the most straightforward solution would probably be to change the gym. Yeah. But I just feel like sometimes these people, if you don't stand up to them, then maybe they don't even realize that they're doing something wrong.
But she did.
Yeah. No, I mean, like in his mind, he might be thinking like, oh, like she's playing hard to get, like it's a game.
What more can she do? Like, she call a bouncer, like, hey, come with me, bodyguard, and like just beat him up, or like talk to the guy. Like, what more? What more?
But haven't you seen in like shows when, or not shows, but in pop culture, there's this thing of like the girl is the moody girl in the class and she doesn't like anyone, and eventually like one guy, like she's like cold to him, but like eventually like her cold heart melts and like she falls in love with it. There's like, unfortunately there's this idea, sometimes guys have this idea that like, oh, I can
save her,
I can change her mind or like win her over, stuff like that, unfortunately. So, and sometimes it is that case. Sometimes a girl like is shy and doesn't know how to like get out of it,
like to be winning over.
Yeah, likes the guy to like keep pursuing her and playing hard to get. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how much more straightforward with this guy you can get, but I think at that point you just have to be like, if you don't leave me alone, I'm gonna call the cops, get a restraining order or stuff like that. Like, it's escalates like stalking.
It's so hard to get restraining order.
Yeah, I think they're working on laws to like improve it and stuff like that. But yeah, and then about like your situation, unfortunately, it's like, I think nowadays people also feel like when people are drinking and drunk, they feel like they kind of like gives them a pass to like be more risky, And for example, a lot of people will cheat when they're drunk and be like, oh, I was drunk, and
not all.
I said people, but a lot of times some people like will like take the opportunity to be like inappropriate or like
but I think there must be some like, how do I put it, there might be something already that like it meant to happen, like Closer, right, the movie, that I think that that like I think they might have some issues already within the relationship, so to meet one person to trigger it just easily happen, but because of the foundation that you have between each other, it's not strong.
Maybe, but I think it's more that, for example, in a sober situation, that guy probably would never say those things or make those advances, but then somehow if he's drunk, he feels like, oh, I can get away with it, or like she's more willing to bend her rules.
Or maybe I can express my feeling that, oh, maybe I really like her, but I wouldn't dare to make her move or say, and like getting drunk, it's like icebreaker.
And then you can kind of, if it goes badly, you can be like, oh, I was drunk, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so main thing is, if I can do one piece of advice, which is not really for this lady because she seems to be doing fine about standing up for herself, but like a lot of times girls feel like they need to be like they're in a way that's like they don't want to hurt the person's feelings. That's like kind of like not assaulting them, but like is being like trespassing on them. And it's like, no, like if this person is crossing a boundary, you need to be like, hey, this is not okay. And I feel like I think it happens to guys too, actually. Especially, I mean, not especially, but like it happens to guys a lot too. And it's just that I think that's also a problem. For example, when a serial killer, for an extreme case, a serial killer might be like, I think it was Ted Bundy, was like pretend to be like injured and be like, oh, can you help me? Like, can you help me bring the groceries packet in the car for me? Or like, you know, move them to like a more vulnerable position in the area. Be like, oh, can you help me come to this area? And if you feel uncomfortable, but the girl's like, well, I don't want to be rude. It's like, no, if you're uncomfortable, like your safety should come first. You need to be like, hey, stop, like leave me alone, you know? So I think that's one thing that for anyone that's feeling uncomfortable, I think it's like you shouldn't feel bad about speaking out for yourself, you know?
I agree.
But I mean, for this lady, I think the next escalation would be to get someone like a higher form of authority above like the gym. So I guess it would be the police or something like that. Okay. Well, that was the last one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, this is our dating advice because we've dated so much.
You did.
No.
You did.
You said earlier there's like so many guys.
No.
Just kidding. I'll find it. Maybe I'll like cut it and splice it in. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Well, that's episode 7 and
7 heaven.
7th heaven. Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you guys for coming in and checking out the show. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. There's a couple of new comments I saw. I replied to them. No, don't say. Okay, thank you. All right, bye.